Hi guys, today I'm making a rich devil's food cake with a yummy chocolate frosting that I think you guys are gonna totally love. And this recipe starts out a little bit unusual for a cupcake, I guess. We're not doing creaming method. It's 3 sticks of butter with 2 1/4 cups of sugar, and you melt all that together to start off with. So it's more like a sponge cake method because you slightly warm your sugar and your butter, and then you whip that before adding your dry ingredients. So you want to melt your 3 sticks of butter, 2 1/4 cups of sugar together. That'll take a couple of minutes, so while I'm waiting for that, I'll stir it occasionally so it doesn't scorch or burn. I'll whisk together my dry ingredients. This is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, add 1 1/4 teaspoons of coarse salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of baking powder. Make sure you whisk well enough that all of your baking powder and baking soda are fully distributed throughout your dry mixture, because otherwise you might end up with weird air pockets or holes in your cupcake. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it's kind of unsightly. The other day I think I did this, like I looked at my cake after I had made it and there were tons of these crazy holes and I was like, what happened? And I think that I didn't whisk properly. For the chocolate component of your cupcake, it's 3/4 cup of Dutch processed cocoa powder and 3/4 cup of warm water to dissolve it. I like to whisk my warm water into the cocoa powder to smooth it out. I find that if you do it the other way, the cocoa powder lumps up if you just dump your cocoa powder into the water. Bad news, guys, bad news. You want it to be nice and smooth. Don't forget about what's going on over here. I think I kind of did. All right. Have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. You want to make sure you do that. Michaela, my daughter, was baking cupcakes for her softball team last night, and she was baking. She had everything out, and she measured everything. She made the batter, and she forgot to preheat the oven. And I said, I always tell you, preheat the oven the minute you walk into the kitchen if you're baking. That way it's ready for you when you're ready for it. Yeah, I lectured her. I'm a mom, what do you expect? When your butter and sugar are melted together, then you just carefully transfer to your mixer. Get all the sugar out. Okay. And then you want to beat that just till it cools down a little bit. You know what, you guys? I feel like you can't see what's going on. I'm turning this around. I probably should turn it off first. There we go. Oh my gosh, that's so much better. Bye, sugar. Ta-da, you're welcome. All right, so you want to beat this until it cools down just a little bit because you're going to be adding some eggs. And it'll gain a little bit of volume as well. It'll take about 3 to 5 minutes. When this is cooled down a bit, you can add 4 eggs one at a time. You want to beat after each addition. When all of your eggs have been incorporated, you'll add cocoa mixture. I kind of feel like I want to turn this off only because I don't want the cocoa splattering all over me, which might not happen, but then again, it might happen. So, turn it back on. And then it's a tablespoon plus a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Vanilla and chocolate are great together, and vanilla really helps enhance chocolate flavors. So even when you're thinking that, oh, I'm not making a vanilla dessert, it's really nice to add some when you're making chocolate dessert. Add your dry ingredients, alternating with your cup of sour cream. Whoops, wrong way. Hee hee. JK. Sour cream should be a little bit room temperature, not too cold, as should your eggs. When you're baking, you want everything sort of at the same temperature. I can see that a bunch of flour is going up on the sides of the mixer bowl, so I'm just going to scrape it down and then add the remaining flour mixture. Last of the flour mixture, and then beat that in. When your batter is nice and smooth, you can transfer it to a muffin tin. These are lined with baking cups. This recipe makes 2.5 dozen, but I have one pan. If you only have one pan at a time, bake them in batches. I'm using an ice cream scoop, but some people find it a little bit easier and a slightly less messy to transfer this kind of loose batter to a measuring cup and just pour it into the cupcake liners. Whatever works for you, whatever you have. I particularly hate making a mess. So I try to do whatever's the least messy. When your liners are full, go ahead and get them into your preheated oven. It takes about 20 minutes for the tops to spring back and lightly touched, or a cake tester inserted in the center should come out clean. When your cupcakes are cool, you can frost them. They look beautiful, domed. This is a delicious, rich, chocolatey frosting. I'm going to frost them, and then as a final touch, they're gonna get some beautiful chocolate shavings. That's just if you want to. You can pipe this on if that's your preferred method, but I'm into the swoopy look that you get from using a little offset spatula. Cute, right? This frosting, one of my faves, it's a chocolate ganache with a little bit of corn syrup in it, which adds to the sheen, makes it a little bit more stable. And then, as I mentioned, chocolate shavings, just to make them a little bit fancy. Take a piece of chocolate and a vegetable peeler. I like these Y-shaped vegetable peelers. They fit in my hand really nicely, and then just shave away. Shaving, and then just sprinkle away. Nice little spiky pile. Isn't that pretty? I love it. There you have it. Devil's Food Cupcakes. Don't tell me if I have chocolate all over my face, because I know it's gonna happen. So good. Dense, chocolatey, amazing Devil's Food Cupcakes. Enjoy. If you like recipes like this and you want more, make sure to click like and subscribe, because we have plenty more where this came from.